Good morning. It is early-ish on a Thursday morning. I'm going to attempt to do this before I have to start work. I wanted to share with you a little project that I kind of discovered by accident. I was trying to use up something that was like an offcut of another project, and so basically I had these strips, book page strips, that are from a floral book, and the pages, they're somewhat large pages, but they had images of flowers on the side that I fussy cut out. But I didn't want to get rid of the text because I thought, we can always find something to do with that. And so the paper on this paper is kind of semi-glossy, and I don't typically like to use that in my junk journaling. I like more matte finish pages. So what I decided was to use these as a base. And what we're gonna do is basically make a snippet roll, or a version of a snippet roll out of these. Now I'm not gonna make them into, I'm not gonna necessarily connect them and make them into a huge long, strip to roll up, but it's the same concept where, we're gonna collage these long strips, and then we can decorate them however we want to, and then tear them up into smaller chunks to use for various things in our junk journals. So these are some strips that I already cut in half, but this is what the original size looked like. It's a bit wide for what I want to use them for, so I'm gonna just cut these in half and then clean up the edges a little bit. And then what I'm gonna use to collage on them is more book pages. So I've got kind of a selection of different book pages from books that I've gotten from the thrift store, that are varying colors and different kinds of fonts, and some of them even have like they almost look like hand-drawn sketches, images of plants and things like that on them. And then we've got some dictionary page, and then also some music paper of different varieties. And then I also like to use a little bit of other types of textured paper. So some packing paper, like from Amazon packages. So I have some tissue paper. This is very thin tissue paper, so it tends to become kind of translucent on the page. And then I have this packing paper that has this kind of fun texture on it, I think it was from a cast iron skillet that we bought, but I just really liked the texture. So, and they're different colors. Now I have a couple I'll show you just for an example of what we're kind of looking at doing. So we want to I like to vary the colors and textures and fonts, so it doesn't all look the same, but then we're just creating a background basically, and then you can decorate it however you want to. I will show you a couple examples of ones that I decorated. I've already torn these up into bits that I can use, but you can use, obviously fussy cut butterflies, or anything fussy cut. And then I have some like stamping that I did on tissue paper, labels. Basically the same concept. I kind of took one strip at a time and did similar themes. So that's got some rubber stamping on it, some labels. This is a tea bag label from some tea that I had. I just thought the label was pretty. And then, same kind of concept. So some of them I tore up small, some of them are a little bit bigger. You can use them for tucks, if you use a longer strip, you can do a belly band, pockets, you know, you can even just use it as basically as like a little cluster on a page to decorate with. So, and then here's another example of one that I plan on using for as part of a journal cover. So this is actually a washi sticker, and I just really like how it kind of blends in and it, you know, meshes with the background, but adds a little pop of color too. So anyway, that's kind of what we're looking at. So we'll get started by trimming these strips up to make them a little bit skinnier. So I prefer my guillotine, but I just have a small one, so it doesn't really, and this does not have to be exact. I'm just kind of guesstimating here, just to make them a little bit more manageable. And really, we don't need to clean up the edges because we're gonna collage over it to where probably some of the pieces are gonna be hanging off anyway. So I hope you guys are having a good morning. Like I said, it is Thursday morning before work. I have a corporate job, but I work fully from home, which is really nice. And I actually worked from home full time before, you know, the pandemic hit. Although our company, it was mostly in the office before then. It just, I had a bit of a special arrangement with them, so I was able to work from home. But now most all of my coworkers work from home as well. Okay, so I am just going to, first of all, what I did before was I just kind of took a variety of the book pages and pre-tore them into pieces that were easy for me to pick from. So I'm going to start with these pages because I really like these with the drawings on them. So I'm just gonna kind of try to tear them a little bit organically. I don't like a lot of necessarily squares. You know, I want it to be kind of random. But I want them small enough that they're gonna fit on the strip. So take another one of these. So I really like this kind of a project for getting back into the groove of crafting. I haven't been able to really sit down at my craft table and work on a project for more than a few minutes. These pages are very brittle. I haven't actually used these ones in a collage yet, so this should be interesting, but I really like the color of them, so these are actually kind of tearing in more of a square shape. But yeah, I haven't been able to craft, you know, I've been in my craft room or spare room, which is where I craft in, for a few minutes here and there over the last few weeks, but we've been kind of traveling, and then fall is always a busy time for us, for our family, so I just haven't had time to get in here. So I always find these types of projects easy to do because they don't require a lot of decision making, and it's just like an easy like reintroduction kind of project to get back into the mode, you know. I'm gonna do a little dictionary page. There's something so satisfying with ripping pages, which is so weird to say, but especially when, I mean, I'm a book lover, which people might question seeing me rip all these book pages, but and I've always loved the feel of paper, different kinds of paper, and writing on different kinds of paper. Sometimes the dictionary pages don't like to rip, and they rip in very odd shapes. It's interesting, like the type of paper that it is. It's almost like more fibrous or something. I don't know. Okay, that's probably enough. Dictionary. So, I'm curious what you like to work on what types of projects do you like to work on when you're kind of in a funk and haven't been crafting for a little while? Like, do you just like to jump in head first on complicated projects, or maybe do a little art, painting? That's something that I do. I like to do sometimes too, is get my inks out and paints and just make like collage fodder, as I've heard some people call it, just to have stuff to like background pages for your collages. I love these titles, the fonts on these titles in this book. Like, it's just so, I don't know, so pretty but simple also. I'll do a few bigger ones. Some of these are a little bit more blank. Okay, so we've got enough of that. Let's do some music paper. That one makes a good sound. Similar feel to the dictionary page, actually. It's a little bit thicker, but okay. So do another one of these. Actually, those are different colors, so we'll put this. So I'm actually taking off work tomorrow, and we are taking, so me and my husband are taking our 2 teenagers to Atlanta for the weekend and going to the Georgia Aquarium, which I've never been. I love aquariums. I usually add these kind of papers on top of the book page, so it's not as important to have like pre-torn bits, but just to make it easier. But yeah, so we're supposed to go to the aquarium, and then we'll probably do a couple other things too, but my parents are coming with us, so it should be a fun time. I'm excited. I've heard the Georgia aquarium is really cool, so it's very expensive to take your whole family, but hopefully it's worth it. Okay, I think that's enough tearing. Maybe we'll set those aside. And what I'm gonna do now, some people would probably be appalled at this, but I'm gonna just glue. I'm gonna use a glue stick. I use Scotch Create glue stick. I was using just a regular Elmer's glue stick before, and I was finding that things were not staying stuck. So I saw someone, actually Pam at the Paper Outpost uses this a lot, and she mentioned it, so I thought I'd give it a try, and it seems to work really well. So I'm basically just gonna glue all across these strips and then take bits of book page and paper and collage onto it. Now I tried doing this once before with like some paper underneath it, so I didn't get my mat all gluey, and then my strips just ended up sticking to the other paper. So I'm just gonna go straight for it, and then we'll use a wet one to clean it off afterwards. So yeah, you want to get it nice and gluey. You know, that's a technical term here in the paper crafting world. All the way to the edges if you can. So now you can kind of see my paper wants to curl up a little bit, but that's okay. We are going to just go ahead and start collaging. So I like to, what I usually do is I use the glue stick, I put my pieces on, and then obviously they're going to overlap, so they're not going to be stuck down on all the edges. So I will go back in with my Tombow glue with the pointy tip and glue down the edges where they overlap. So I'm gonna do some, let's do this. And then sometimes I will go back, so like this is a very straight edge that's overlapping quite far. So I might go back and, you know, tear that just to kind of make it look a little more organic. It depends on how I feel. We'll see. See how it goes. I want some of this little imagery here. I'll do some more of this darker paper. And I mean, this is fairly quick. You just, and obviously you want to put it down before the glue stick dries. So, and I really don't, I will put book page and text any which way. It does not matter to me. It's just a background. So it's not, in fact, I would rather it not be right side up, because I don't want it to be a distraction in, you know, somebody trying to read it or something when it's not, that's not the focal point. Okay, so that one's, I mean, the base is done. So I will probably add some texture on top. Maybe I'll probably glue down some of the edges first, but let's see. So like we've got little flappy doos here, you know, where things were overlapping. So I just will come back in with my Tombow, glue that down. Flippy doos don't want to work with me here. That's another technical term if you didn't know. Flippy doos. So yeah, I will tell my husband sometimes. I'll be like, I'm gonna go play with my paper now for, you know, a little while. And he'll be like, oh, okay. And so he knows if he needs to find me, I'm in the spare room playing with my papers. Because that's really, I mean, that's really what it is. I just like, and I think I said this before, but I've always had a love of paper and different kinds of paper. It doesn't want to stick down. And even like my mom, I think I got some of my craftiness from her. That one's oozing a little, so we're just gonna dab that with the dry wipe. But yeah, my mom loves to craft too. She's a paper crafter. She's also been getting back into sewing lately. But she makes the most beautiful cards, like greeting cards for people. And I have a little bit of a collection myself of ones that she has given me. Because there's like no way that I can throw them away. nor would she probably want me to. But yeah, they're just really pretty. And she puts a lot of time and love and effort into them. So, okay, I think everything is glued down here. So I'm just gonna add, that's probably bigger than I want. So let's tear that down a little bit. So on this tissue paper, you can kind of see there's a little bit of a shiny side. I want the shiny side to be glued down. So just put this back in. So now the thing with the tissue paper is because it is so delicate, especially this particular tissue paper, it has a tendency to tear just when you're trying to glue it. So see, it doesn't, and I don't mind if there's wrinkles in it. I think that adds to the texture for this especially. So this is how I do it. Because I've tried doing, like, gluing it on a piece of paper, you know, like with a glue paper behind it, and it just wants to tear. So I think I've mostly gotten it glued. Maybe that corner isn't. Okay, this is very delicate. And then I like to just kind of scrunch it a little. Kind of add some fun texture to that. And all the edges are not all completely glued down, but that's not going to matter because I'm going to put decorations on it too. So let's see, maybe some of this. I'm going to be sad when I've run out of this packing paper because I really like the texture, and it's like it went through a press or something. I'm not even really sure, but I really like it. But yeah, I think it came from a cast iron skillet that my husband ordered online, like last Christmas, I think it was. I just held on to it because I thought it was nice. This is probably not the most quick or efficient way to do this, but I don't really want to pull out the magazine that I use for gluing. And actually, I think I want to make it smaller and spread it out. Okay, that's probably enough of that. Okay, we'll try, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try and keep this short. So I am going to go ahead and start decorating this one. We're going to, where's my wet wipe? Here it is. Get the glue off. Sorry if you're shaking. And we'll just dry that. Okay. Now, what I have here is some labels. Some of these are Tracy labels, Tracy Fox. Some of them are from Roxy Creations. Some are from, like I have these little definitions, word definitions. I think those are from Shabby Dabby Doodah. Some of these colored label, like the pink and green or blue, I'm not really sure what color that is. Those are from Shabby Dabby Doodah as well. I think they were in a freebie that she had. Okay, so I'm going to start with labels and then probably add some fussy cut stuff. I tend to go for more botanical, nature themed things because that's what I like. But we'll start with the labels. Now, I also tend to like to use my ink on these because they, you know, are just printed on white printer paper. Well, actually, it's a little bit thicker. Some of these are a little bit thicker than just regular printer paper, but they have those white edges, and I don't love that. So, that's kind of fun. Should we go for a blue theme? I did that on one of the other ones. That's a very large one. That might be too big. That's big too. Oh, this is a cute one. What's this? And I will, these are all around the same size. Maybe I should use one of those. Like I just found this, I will tear the ones that are too large, you know, to make them work with what I'm trying to do. I like this too, and that's blue. I don't always do color themes, but I find with something like this, it is helpful to reduce the number of decisions I'm having to make. And that is one of the main goals for me with doing a project like this. So I will, and actually I have another one of those tea bag labels, which is cute. I think maybe we'll start with that. So I have these little baby distress inks. They're the first ones I bought because, as you probably know, the distress inks are not cheap. Sorry, I keep pulling towards myself. Hopefully you can see. So as my starter pack to see if I actually liked them enough to buy, you know, spend the money on them, I bought a mini pack of just the neutral colors. And so this is my vintage photo. That's the little tiny one, but I use it all the time now. Okay, this one, yeah. I feel like it's so hard to cut out the oval ones. I don't know why. And the circles too. But I can see all my little jagged edges on here. Let's see where my little stars are. See if I can even these out a little. That was probably the worst one. Okay. go ahead and do this one too, even though I'm not sure if I'm going to use this one. I think actually most of these blue ones are from Roxy Creation. Or excuse me, I think it's Roxy Creations. I'll go ahead and do this one too, just in case. Actually, I was just remembering, I have some new labels that I just cut out. These are from, you know what, now I can't remember the name of her shop. I want to say it's Tape and Twine, but I will look it up to make sure. I just bought them on Etsy. And they're, you know, printables too. But they're kind of fun. They're like, I think she called them, oh, I can't remember for sure. I'll put the link in the description or whatever. But they're almost like little botanical specimen tags, kind of. They're just kind of cool, you know. I like that one. I want to put some other accents in here. It's more green. It's kind of fun. Oh, I like that one. So many decisions. Okay, we're just gonna go with these. Okay. Maybe something like that. Okay, we don't want to spend a lot of time on that. Sorry, I keep pulling towards myself. And you probably can't see that, so. It's the only problem with doing it this way is you don't. It's harder to get all the edges. Okay. Do I have that this way, I think? Gluey fingers. It's just a fact of life for the crafter, right? If you don't have gluey fingers, then what are you doing? That looks crooked. I think I put this one on here crooked because of that line, or that edge. Okay, that's okay. Okay, this way. Ooh. Sorry, I'm getting quiet. Concentrating. There is a lump of glue, and I do not want lumps under my labels if I can help it. Okay. And then, oh, gluey fingers, gluey fingernails. I print these, I've printed labels on both a regular printer paper and then also a little bit higher quality paper. I can't remember what the actual like weight is, but I'm finding that I like the heavier paper better for these. Fingers are getting way too gluey. And I'm not really sure why, because it's just a label, right? It doesn't, like, you don't necessarily need it to be structurally heavier or anything, but I just find that I do. I don't know why. Okay, now I kind of wanted to use, these are kind of hard to glue on though. They're very stiff, so that should probably be last. I think we need some fussy cut things. Question is, do we want, well, I don't need to see on the receipts. Got mushrooms in here. You know, I fixed myself coffee and I haven't even drank any of it. Okay. I've got mushrooms. Those look way too big. Do they? Maybe smaller mushrooms. It's kind of cute. Oh, here we already have some, or we as a collective group already have some that are inked. These are cute. I don't know, they kind of feel too big. Oh, I like that one. Do we? Do we put them this way? No, I think because the labels are going that way, we need to go that way. The text on the labels. Here's some smaller ones. See, this is where the difficulty comes in. Oh, here's some like little tiny ones. This is what we want. Yeah, okay, okay. Here we go. Doing little flips. Actually, I want this one. Do we? Do I have any more? There's a little guy. Oh, okay. Maybe. Oh, that's cute. Okay, I'm liking that. Do we have any others that we like? I don't know. Oh, these are tiny cute ones. Maybe we put multiple. There's something with the even number and odd number that's making me, I might have to add like some numbers or something else. Okay, we'll put these big ones away because we know we don't want those. Do we want? Maybe. I can't decide. This is where we run into issues. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put this one down because I really like that one. Put him down there. I don't know why, but mushrooms are always him to me. They're always male. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what it is. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this one down too. If we feel like we need to add something else, we will. Okay, and I'm gonna do this one because I like that one too. Hopefully we're gluey enough. Now we're like over gluey. I'm saying gluey a lot in this video. I apologize. Okay. Yes. I kind of like that there. My thing with this is I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to decide if it's the perfect spot. So if I kind of like it, then I just glue it down. So that I don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about it. I kind of like that one there too. We're just gonna go for it. So these mushrooms are printed on regular printer paper, so they're a bit thinner. I don't know if you can tell that on the video, but oh, so gluey. I'm gonna have to get my magazine out, I think. Okay. Gluey fingers. Okay, I kind of like the blue contrast against the orangey yellows of the mushrooms. question is, do we want anything else? I don't know. I think I'm going to leave this one as it is. I may go back and add things later as I use the snippets. Put the lid back on that glue. I do see an edge here, a couple edges that need to be finished off. But yeah, I think we probably are at our time, I'm guessing. But thank you for joining me this morning, or whenever you watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed the time with me this morning, crafting with me this morning. And hopefully this inspired you to do something or try something with maybe some other scraps that you have hanging around. I really enjoyed doing these, and will likely do more in the future. Maybe not on camera, but I'm finding them very useful once they're all decorated and everything. So anyway, I hope you have a fabulous day, and we will see you soon. Bye.